Alldus podcast is brought to you by Alldus International, supplying your expert AI and digital transformation staffing needs across the US and Europe. Today, you are listening to our AI in Action series, where leading minds in AI from across the world share their story, success, and advice. AI in Action cuts through the hype and explores the true impact of artificial intelligence in our world today.
You're listening to AI in Action. I'm your host, JP Valentine. Our guest today is Ethan Bloch. Ethan is the founder and CEO at Digit. Ethan, welcome to the show.
Hey, JP. Thanks so much for having me on.
It's our pleasure. So, Ethan, let's start with yourself. Can you please introduce yourself? Give us a bit of an overview of your background in technology and what your journey has been from where you got started to where you are today.
Ever since I was pretty young, I've had two big passions, and I would even call them curiosities when I was younger. One was around technology. I was really fortunate to have a computer from a pretty young age, and then the internet soon thereafter. And that was sort of my first love. And the second one was actually finance. I started to manage my own money and start to day trade around the age of 13. And was just, again, very curious about how finance worked, and it's so pervasive in the world. I wanted to understand everything about it. And so those two threads more or less led me through to college, where I studied finance and then actually started video podcasting way back in 2007, 2006. And one of my shows was on finance, using, again, technology and the internet to try and teach people different ways to manage their money, amongst some other shows that I had. And it actually wasn't until my first startup was actually a software business that was a small business marketing platform. And when I sold that business and had a small exit, I then started wondering what I would do for a large portion of the rest of my life. And that eventually led me to found Digit. And Digit is a product that helps people manage their money in a way that they didn't know they could, or in a way they want to, but don't know how to get there. And we're leveraging technology and behavioral finance and design to build an experience that's unlike anything out there today.
Thank you very much for that. Certainly an early adopter of modern technology, which is great to hear, and great to see you are one of the early adopters of podcasting as well. So this should come very naturally to you.
I'm a little bit rusty now, been a while, but we'll see. You'll let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, switching our attention now to the main reason why we've got you on the show. We want to learn about Digit. So can you talk to us about the idea behind the mission of the business, and then we can jump into the role that AI and technology is playing in helping you achieve that mission?
Yeah, absolutely. When I started working on Digit almost 9 years ago now, it started with this belief that managing your money, it should be easier. And it's too hard for too many people. And the way we talk about it today, Digit is around financial health. And the mission of Digit is to make financial health something that's effortless for people and for anyone. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what walk of life you come from, being financially healthy should be easy. And that has really carried us through 9 years later. When we got started, as finance is a huge industry, there's an incredible number of products and services and different needs people have. And when we started, we decided to really focus on helping people save. And so we built a product that would save for you, and largely using AI to understand your cash flow, make predictions around your cash flow, and then try and find amounts of money every day that you don't need or for bills, but more importantly, might not feel are missing. And it would actually set that aside. And it was we were the first algorithmic savings account, is one way to put it, where someone could sign up and connect their existing bank account and then go back to living their life. And Digit would just save for them. And as you fast forward to today, we've helped people save over $6 billion this way. And it's one of the things we're most proud of having accomplished. And as we look forward, and sort of what we're working on now is how we take this same approach of, again, we made saving effortless. How are there other things that we can make effortless in your financial life? And that's what we're still working on. We have a long journey ahead of us. It's a long product vision and mission, and we still have a lot to do.
Well, 6 billion in money saved already is remarkable in such a short space of time. I'm sure it was difficult journey, but you guys have already accomplished so much. And as you said, you're just getting started. I would love to learn a little bit about the journey from the idea to the early stages of building your first AI prototypes to what it looks like behind the scenes now. If somebody was to join Digit on the data team, what would they be walking into?
Yeah, so if they join today, so we have two teams that will have, well, so everyone, we structure Digit to have product teams, and a product team is largely a cross-functional team of engineers, designers, product managers, data science. And depending what product or feature they're working on will determine which team they're on. And then they're on this cross-functional team that there's two modes of how they're thinking through what they're going to be building. One mode is we set goals, what we want to accomplish, and then teams figure out what they can do to help us accomplish those goals. And then separately, things that teams see because they're talking to customers, they're the closest to the customer, they're coming up with ideas for things that they should work on. And so then that will flow into when we do planning, what they're going to work on that quarter. And if you are of sort of the data discipline, you could either be on our data science team, which I guess in other organizations, they would call that sort of, it's more analytics. But for us, we call this data science, and we have some data scientists on that team. Or they could be on another team, which is actually an engineering team that we call the AI team. And there's different roles and responsibilities, again, depending what the feature is. And that would then dictate what their sort of scope of work could be or what specific things they would be working on.
You are listening to the Alldus Podcast. When you're looking to scale your team, or if you are interested in showcasing your company in a future episode, reach out today. Or if you're in the market for a new role, visit our website to view open positions, www.alldus.com.
Ethan, you and I were speaking previously before we started recording here about some of the interesting projects you're currently working on. Could you share some of that with the audience, what the project pipeline is looking like, some of the interesting things you and the team are working on, and where that's going to lead you guys into 2022?
Yeah, probably the biggest and most exciting project we've been working on for a little over 18 months is a product called Digit Direct. And this is, in effect, as you can think about, an intelligent bank account. And so again, replaying a little bit of Digit's past, we invented the sort of intelligent savings account. We figured out how to make it totally effortless for someone to save. And what we're trying to do now is take this same approach and insights and learnings and trust we built with customers and bring that to your sort of full-featured bank account. And what it ultimately helps folks do is make budgeting something that becomes effortless. And so instead of just using Digit to save small amounts and build that savings over time, you can now use Digit to set aside money for your bills. So you can make sure you always have money for your bills, so you can pay them on time and in full. You will also be saving. So the sort of work we've done in savings in the past is brought into this new product, Digit Direct. And then lastly, it's thinking through how much money is available to spend. And so you get a Digit debit card that's connected to your Digit bank account. And again, because Digit's budgeting for you, it's much easier to control your spending. You can sort of open the app and quickly get a sense of how good are you on your bills and how much is there for you to actually spend. And as you can imagine, this has been an incredibly challenging project, many facets to it. And again, we've spent 18, 19 months working on this. There's now a wait list for folks who are interested in trying it out to sign up. And we're excited to be bringing it to market later this year.
Very exciting. And it's great to hear that while your core product was so innovative and really first to market, you guys continue to add new features and functions to grow. Part of the growth, it means you're going to need to bring in more people, and hence one of the reasons why we've got you on the show. You've had a really good track record of hiring and scaling consistently over the past few years. When you're speaking to prospective candidates, particularly in the world of AI and data science, where it's so challenging to hire people, what what is it that you tell them about Digit, the mission, and the type of work that they will be doing that gets them interested in joining Digit over some of the other very exciting opportunities out there?
Yeah, it's a great question. And this is true for everyone that joins Digit, and not just someone working on the AI team or the data team, or even an engineer for that matter. It's the impact they'll have on society. The idea that we're trying to use cutting edge technology put into a day-to-day financial product that is for everyone is really compelling to the right person or right people. Again, that idea we're using this cutting edge technology and we're building products, financial products that help people live a financially healthier life is really motivating for our team and for the people that come and join Digit. And so we just try and be, during our interview process, as transparent as possible about this is Digit, this is who we are, this is what matters to us, these are the types of things we're working on. And that seems to be an X factor for us, where it'll self-select for the people that want to work on those sets of problems and be using these types of technologies to build, products that every day people are using to manage their financial life.
I think that's such a great strategy. Just open book, let people see what it's like behind the scenes, because the successful hires then know exactly what they're walking into. Final question from me, Ethan. As you look back at the journey so far, from the very first product to building it to this scale, seeing competitors get into the market, imitation is the highest form of flattery, all of the challenges that come with that. When you look ahead for the next chapter with new product launches, what are you most excited about for the future?
I'm most excited about continuing to innovate in the space with a team that I'm inspired by and that I love working with. I tell people all the time, I can't believe this is my job. This is what I get paid to do, is to work on these types of problems that are around finance and how to help people manage their money in a more effective way, in an easier way, so they can go off and do the things in life they actually enjoy. And then to be able to do that with a team that pushes me to be my best is just super exciting still. And again, I'm almost 9 years into working on Digit, and it's as if it's still fresh for me and new. And so again, continuing to build products and solve the challenges in front of us with the team we have is what I'm most excited about.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Alldus Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any Android podcast of choice. You can also head over to our website, www.alldus.com, to listen to more podcasts, view our open roles, and stay up to date with industry news. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more great episodes coming very soon.